Hey everyone, today I'll be reviewing Mythmatch, a match 3 game about the Greek gods. So Mythmatch appealed to me because it involves a few things that I really enjoy. Greek mythology, puzzle games. There seemed to be a Stardew Valley-like element to the game where you can upgrade buildings, improve relationships with people in the community. So this game was checking off a lot of my boxes. And when I first picked this game up, I was absolutely loving it. It was so easy for me to keep playing. There's definitely a number go up mechanic in this game, increasing the level of your friendships, upgrading the materials that you discover. There's a really good feedback system for rewarding the small things that you accomplish. However, the longer I played this game, the more I realized how thin some of these mechanics were. There's no real discovery factor to finding new items in the game. There's no exploration required or learning new things about the system in the game. It's just about taking 3 things, putting them together, see what happens. You can combine different items together at different levels, but it's a recipe system, and so you already know what's going to happen. There's no experimentation to see if I mix these 2 things together, what happens. You're just fulfilling predetermined recipes. And as far as the relationships in the game, maybe others will have a different perspective, but I did not care one bit what any of these people in the community had to say. This isn't necessarily a deal breaker for me, but the number of times that these conversations failed the Bechdel test was incredible. Pretty much every character in the game is a woman or child, and every single conversation is about another man. I get this is about Greek mythology, so a lot of these are references to real Greek gods, a lot of them being men, but holy cow, I took some sample footage for this game, and literally the first 3 conversations I had were, well, do you want to know what this man is doing? Well, this man in my life did this. This man, this man, this man. I swear to God, 90% of the conversations in this game are 2 women talking about a man that isn't even in the game. And there are no choices in the relationship. It's just this predetermined path that the conversation has to take. None of the conversations had consequences in the game. It's just backstory and lore about their relationships. You have to have conversations in order to level up your friendships in the game, so I just found myself clicking A as fast as possible to speed through the conversations. There are 2 main worlds in the game, one in Olympus and the other on Earth. And on Earth, you are collecting resources, combining them together, and then making recipes or giving them to citizens. In Olympus, there are several mini games that you have to compete in this endless run in order to satisfy the gods. And ultimately, you're working to get a high enough score with all of the gods in order to get a job in Olympus. On Olympus, there are about 5 or 6 different mini games you can have. They seem to be pretty similar variations of the same initial game, where you have to take goat poop and combine it into other resources, except one's with tools, one is on a treadmill, and just more variations of this core mechanic, which I unfortunately found ended up falling in the territory of, hey, get better at this game by leveling up your character. Yes, my reflexes got faster and I was better at spotting different patterns in order to combine things faster together, but for the most part, I felt like the skill ceiling was about this tall. I felt I'd gotten as good as I could at the puzzles and then just needed the upgrades in order to get a higher score. And even the upgrades wouldn't have that much of an impact on my final score. It was just a matter of grinding in order to keep upping my level grade with each of the gods. Also, the movement in this game took me a long time to get used to. It's a grid system, so when you run in the game, your character is still snapping from grid square to grid square. And when you're running diagonally, it's this really awkward right down movement movement to get to your location. I finally got accustomed to it, but it was definitely awkward feeling at first. I do really love the art style in this game. The characters are very well designed. They look like the characters that they're inspired by in Greek mythology, but have this unique, consistent aesthetic that perfectly fits in with this cozy world. At the end of the day, this felt like a pretty simple number go up game for me. It has a little more depth than something like Shell Diver that I played in 2025, and if that's your style of a shut your brain off, make number go up, I think this has some addicting components that are enjoyable, but for me, that's not the kind of game I'm looking for. I'm putting this game at my number 5 spot of 2025.